We start recording. Unfortunately, let me share my screen and we'll start this process. Okay. Everybody can see my screen, right? Okay. All right. So today we'll be talking about build your own SOC. You'll know the importance of this in a while. Okay. Build your own SOC. Yeah, good job on the guys who actually did the assignment, guys. Seen few of the process. Okay, ransomware analysis we'll do when this is over. Okay, no worries. Okay, all right, cool. Okay, so let's start what exactly will be learning. Okay, so as a SOC, do you guys know about in-house SOC and shared? I mean MSSP, right? What exactly is going on? Yes, right. This message to. All right. So there are two different kinds of SOC. One is in-house SOC. Okay. In-house SOC. One is MSSP. Okay. We'll come to this later. Okay. You know in-house SOC, right? So in-house SOC is basically the company which has their own SOC. Okay. Like a major of the product-based companies have their own SOC. But few of the product-based company, what they do is, since they are not well versed with that particular process, they'll pretty much like take a requirement from other companies who are well versed in SOC and who has good experience in SOC. They will push it to them to, and basically they the people who manage the SOC is from MSSP. Okay, like Accenture, they have multiple clients wherein they will manage their SOC from Accenture, right? So they are the clients, the people who are giving their valuable data to Accenture, and the Accenture will be the main processors to who manages their SOC team with number of resources. Okay, so here teams like Amazon, just an example. Okay, Amazon, Ola, Uber, right, Fossil, right, Wells Fargo. These are in-house SOC. Okay, they have their own SOC team and they manage their own company, right? These are the companies that they are there, and they manage their own SOC, dedicated SOC they have based on different resources they'll be holding with their own SOC, and they'll be working on with the same process. Okay. The main thing we'll be discussing more about MSSP. The reason being because majority of the percent revolves in MSSP. You know, a lot of job openings will be getting from MSSP itself, and it is little, sometimes it gets little trickier also because a lot of things will be coming here, right? SLA and major things will be falling under here process, right? But when it comes to in-house SOC, there isn't like you have to report everything in terms of SLA. You need to stress about it. Yes, this is there, but you don't have to stress majorly in terms of SLA when it comes to an in-house SOC. It's pretty peaceful. Okay, so you don't have to think that, oh, my SLA was breached just 5 minutes ago, right? So you don't have to worry that 5 minutes or 10 minutes time frame when it comes to in-house SOC. But the same thing when it comes to MSSP, this will play a major role. So every once or twice it's fine, but every time you delay 15 minutes, 10 minutes, if you delay, it won't be satisfied. Your client will definitely ask you why there is a frequent SLA breach when it comes to certain alerts, right? So you need to answer for everything to the clients. So this is where MSSP gets little tricky because they are not in their own SOC world. They are basically providing services to major companies, and they hold the value and authority to basically tell that why we are paying so much for the professionals here and why they are taking so long to resolve the issues, right? So there are few things when it comes to that. And when it comes to MSSP, right, again, uh, when it comes to MSSP, right, uh, sorry, there are two things majorly again. One is dedicated, one is shared. Okay, finally I'm getting the messages. Okay, you can type it here itself. Okay, two guys. Don't have to worry about WhatsApp anymore. It came. Yeah, that is very good. Finally. Okay, so here dedicated as in the sense, guys, listen very carefully, because when you're explaining your story for SOC, right, for the interviewer, they'll need to understand what you're specifying about. Okay, so please focus very carefully. Okay, so dedicated, let's say, in the MSSP, okay, in the MSSP world. Okay, so here the company, let's say Accenture, will take an example, because Accenture is one of the biggest service provider out there for SOC. Okay, so let's take Accenture. Okay, they have a dedicated team. Let's say a team member of 5. Okay, for a particular client. Okay, which they share their services with. Okay, so these are the resources that they have. A team. Okay, so dedicated in the sense they have their own SOC team. Okay, wherein pretty much they'll have their own tools. Okay, own tools. Okay, own team, and all the resources that are required to manage a SOC will be present by the Accenture itself. Okay, these are dedicated. It's meant for this, and they provide services to major companies. Okay, XYZ companies. Okay, these are like this. They provide their own services. Okay, this is dedicated SOC. Okay, dedicated as in they have entire resources with their hand. Everything will be given to them. Okay, everything will be given to by the Accenture itself. They have their own SIM tool. Okay, they have their own endpoint security. They have their own resource collection. They have their own teams. Okay, and rotation in a rotational shift or any other shift, they'll have their own process going on, and they just provide services. Okay, they just provide services to the client. They just provide services to the client. Pretty much similar. Okay, so they log in through VPN, and they just work on with their process. Okay, so this is pretty much plain and simple. Dedicated in the sense Accenture. Okay, shared. Now let's explain what exactly is shared. Okay, okay, shared here. What happens is, let's say a company. Okay, a company. Let's talk about DXC company. Okay, they too have their own team. They too have their own team. Let's say 25 members will be there in their own dedicated. That's the only thing they have. Okay, so now what happens is, uh, they too provide service. Okay, they to provide service. Okay, and these are the clients, SBI bank, any bank, Citibank, or any banks, anything. Okay, any client. Okay, or abc.com. Okay, any client they have. So here in shared, what happens is these clients will not have their own resources. That means they don't have any tools. Sorry, I'm sorry. These people have their own tools. Okay, in dedicated, these clients did not have any tools, and Accenture were providing all the tools and the resources from their end. That we have Splunk and all, because Accenture uses Splunk, right? So they have Splunk, they have this and that. We have EDR tool, we have that tool, this tool. So they'll provide services, everything. This client doesn't have anything. They are just monitoring everything by themselves. Okay, but when it comes to shared, right, SBI or Citibank or any other have their own tool. They use their own tool. Let's say they use QRadar. Okay, because that is good. They tell they have QRadar. They have their own endpoint EDR devices. They have their own firewall and stuff like that, right? And they have their own what you call IDS and IPS process. Okay, so everything is then their own hand. So tools, everything are there. Here, the only thing that DXC will be providing is basically the team. Only the team they'll be providing. So what happens? The team will log in to their infrastructure, to their environment. Okay, to their environment through VPN and start working. Okay, because the DXC won't have, if they have their tools, their own tools also, still some of the clients what they have, right? They'll tell, no, I don't want your resources. We have our own resources which we are comfortable with. You just have to provide the team services. Okay, so this is a particular process will be happening. Okay, so understood, guys, what exactly is shared and what exactly is dedicated? Any doubts on this? If you have doubts, let me know. I'll clear it off. But if you do not have doubts, we'll further go further. Okay. Understood about the shared and dedicated team. In-house to dedicated only. In-house they'll manage everything by themselves. Okay. In-house to no worries. Because they have their own, because they have built their own SOC from the scratch. That is what is this in-house SOC. In-house SOC, they build their own services within the company itself. They have their own dedicated teams, tools, that this whatever not is present is from their own process that they have acquired. Tools, firewall, what firewall they need and all, they'll check carefully and they'll build their own SOC. Okay, this is all. This is not shared. Okay, this is not even dedicated or shared. This is in-house SOC. You don't have different categories in here. This is an in-house SOC. Everything is done by by the company itself, their own company. Okay, what was the other question? So all the technologies are in the client place, and MSS will provide only monitoring part. See, man, that's why I said you there is a difference. Okay, that is what you're mentioning. All the technologies are in the client place. That is shared. Okay, that is shared. That is shared. Okay, dedicated have their entire thing with Accenture. So that's why I gave you example of Accenture in dedicated. Okay, in dedicated, Accenture. Okay, Accenture have everything. Tools they have, all the tools, EDR, SIM, that, these, whatever not, IDS, IPS, everything they have. Team also they have. Here they just provide services. Okay, they just provide services to the xyz.com. This is, let's say this is the client, and they just provide the services because everything is with them. Okay, they say we don't have any exposure to tools. We don't know what tools use to use, which tools is better. So please, you take care of everything. So this XYZ will tell that. So that's why I mentioned Accenture is dedicated, because they have their own dedicated tool wherein they provide services. Okay, these are services offered. So two types of methods. Two methods are there. One is dedicated. Okay. One is shared. So dedicated, you guys already know. Shared is like DXC. Okay. They give only team. Okay. Team of 25 and anybody will be working on with their clients. This client will tell that, see, everything I have, all the tools I have, you just need to provide me the team. Okay, just provide me the team who are capable of working with this process, who are professionals, who will be working like this. There will be close to 60 clients. Okay, in DXC, there will be close to 60 clients. If the project size is big, one team size will be 25. Okay, so this SBI critical bank servers or some other process will be holding all the data. They have all the tools, all the firewall, all the IDS, IPS, good things they have because they are clients, right? Bank sectors like that. So they'll have everything. You just provide me the team. That's what they tell it for DXC. Okay. Got it? Understood? So I would suggest you to choose dedicated, sir, because shared there'll be a lot of things that the interviewer will be asking, and it's pretty much messy. It becomes messy. Okay, so I would suggest you to go with the dedicated itself. You know, Accenture example is pretty good example wherein you hold all the data, you hold all the details. You are just providing the services for the client. Okay, you hold SIM, you hold IDS, IPS, and you have a team size of so and so, and we are just providing service to our client. So any client, if you are in some project and you know which client you are working on, please mention that client itself. It's also okay. 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 Shared means only some of the team are. But I didn't get you. Are they managed or what? Sumit, please repeat the question. Who is this man? Kedarsh. What do you mean by? Can you tell this difference between shared and dedicated in MSSP? I'm talking about the same thing. Difference between MSSP and shared. I was giving the example for the whole thing that itself. You apply the jobs looking the company profile or just randomly or giving? No, this is not you. You are not supposed to know that. Okay, it doesn't matter if you know that particular process, that company is shared or dedicated or anything. Okay, you just have to make sure that what you have, what you work, you showing it as experience, right? So what you did in the previous organization is proper. Okay, that you have worked on a dedicated. If you're working on an MSSP, you can tell that, see, we had a client so and so. Okay, we had a client so and so, and we were working on a dedicated environment wherein all the tools were in our hand and we are providing services to a particular client. Okay, that's all you have to tell. If you're mentioning that you are working on MSSP, let's say you are working in Accenture, IBM, or any other company, you can tell we had our own team where we were providing services to the client. Okay, that is a dedicated one. Don't mention shared. Okay, I just gave you an example what exactly is shared, because shared will get a lot of tricky. Okay, there is a hybrid SOC. Okay, you will get confused, so you don't have to talk about hybrid SOC. You will get see, now only people are a lot of confusions are there. If I talk about hybrid SOC, it will be majorly bad, but nobody uses hybrid SOC anywhere. Okay, so you don't have to worry about that. Okay, this question is only for people, for the interviewers asking what kind of SOC you have worked. So in order to build up your story, right, you need to understand it. That's all. Okay. This is correct. Okay, in-house SOC client have own in-house SOC. Yes. Okay, MSSP SOC managed security service provider. Accenture is the biggest service. Yes, exactly. Shared tools will be owned by the company, and MSSP will provide SOC analyst to the company. Like DMC is an example. Yes, exactly. Okay, dedicated, everything will be owned by the MSSP, including the tools and the SOC. Yes, Accenture is an example for this. Yes, dedicated, everything, even the teams also will be from Accenture itself. Okay, even the team also will be from the Accenture team, SOC and yes, exactly. Okay, that's accurate. That's accurate. Okay, good one. So this is how you can build up. So I would suggest you to not to include shared, because there are too many things and too much complications when it comes. Okay. So right now, how many people are working on like IBM, Accenture, or many other companies? I think I can tell which company. Can you tell if your is a product based company or a service based company? How many are working in product based company and service based company? If you are working on a yeah, Wipro has a in-house SOC. Wipro has a in-house SOC. Okay, so no worries on that. Wipro has a in-house SOC. Cognizant, I'm not sure. I think they have. TCS have their own. TCS is like a MSSP service provider. They give dedicated. Okay, dedicated like Accenture they give. Okay, they have major clients as well. Okay, Citrix. Citrix, I think they have their own SOC as well. Okay, HCL they have their own SOC. Okay, in-house SOC that is. We have in-house SOC. I think. Yeah, you guys have HCL. They have in-house SOC. Dell, HP, right? Nokia, entity service based. Again, they give dedicated services. Okay, LabCorp. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what exactly is LabCorp. Is it a product-based company or service? I think it's product-based. Okay, so you know the structure of your company, right? What exactly it is, right? If you guys are providing services, then obviously you will have a SOC, right? Yeah, dedicated SOC working with QRadar. Yeah, QRadar they have it's IBM's basically, so you can pretty easily convince them. Okay. Few people who are working in a different company which is not a little familiar, they can research upon that in terms of what kind of SOC do they have in a SOC, or do they provide do they get services, right? So in few of them they can tell that we have a in-house SOC itself. Okay, that I was working on a in-house SOC itself. You can mention. Okay. Because no point in telling that we were getting service from other companies, so that doesn't make sense, right? So few of them, please mention if it's a product-based company and all, please mention it as an in-house SOC itself. Okay. See, HCL is an in-house SOC itself. Okay, HCL have in-house SOC, and it depends. Just doesn't mean that using QRadar it will become in-house SOC. It depends what kind of tools that they liked it and they took it. So just based on the tools, it will not be considered as an in-house SOC or not. So, but HCL is a in-house SOC. They have their own SOC team. Okay, so you can tell that. Okay. Got it right? Yes, understood. So dedicated, shared, you guys understood, right? So you need to make up your mind which exactly you're telling, right? If you are telling about the product-based company, if you're working on a product-based company, please mention in-house SOC itself. If you're working on service-based company, please mention dedicated. Okay, dedicated that everything we have, we are just giving services, because it becomes really easy to explain. Okay, so you don't have to, make it complex, right? So easily you can pretty much talk about it and get it done. Okay. Because the reason this is little important is based on your answers, interviewer will determine if you might be the right candidate or not. Okay, so it depends on how and what reasons and what stories you'll give, right? You have to play safe, right? So don't risk it. play safe. Mention few things that are only required. Okay, don't mention too much things also. Okay. Okay. So we'll talk about the nature of business as well. Nature of business. Everybody understood, right? Any doubts you have in terms of shared, dedicated, and in-house SOC? The reason I mentioned shared is to get to for you that there are different processes as well. Okay, just to give a brief idea how exactly things work. There are different models as well in terms of MSSP. Just to get you an idea what kind of SOC are there. I gave an example. Okay. Hybrid SOC, no, don't worry. Hybrid SOC, it's not implemented anywhere, so you don't have to worry about that. Okay, because if I explain that right, you will get even more confused. So I'm giving the pointers which will be helpful for the interview for you to discuss with the interviewer. Okay. So when you're explaining to the interviewer, right, you have to make sure that you tell about everything. Okay, see, I'm working on a MSSP. My company is so and so. We provide services to the client, and we have tools so and so. And we are a team size of 25, 22, 30, 12, like that. Okay, we'll come across that. How much you have to tell, we'll come across that. Okay. So if you're working on a what do you call product-based company, tell that we are having our own in-house SOC and we have so and so tools, and we secure our organization with the tools that we have built from our in-house SOC. Okay, clear, guys? Any doubts you have? If yes, no, can I go forward? Yeah, understood, right? Clearly. Any doubts? If you have any doubts, please type now. We can talk about it, or else we'll move forward. Yes, no, I'm not getting any messages. What happened? Is it dead yet? Okay. Do you have any idea how to onboard S3 log source with Sumo? Sumo, I never used Cloud, so S3 buckets and all, we never worked on that particular tool. If you're talking about AWS Cloud Triad and all, not much I have worked on that. So I don't want to give you half-baked answers as well. So I would suggest no, I do not have much idea on that. So I don't want to give you half-baked answers. Okay. Vishnu, sorry about that, but I can research about it maybe tomorrow. If I find a good right example answer, I'll give it to you. Okay. Shared SOC means they have only managed some team. Yeah, they only give teams. Okay, and everything will be from their client, like tools, other things, and all will be managed from the client itself. Okay, you only give the service as a team resource. Only the resource is the team. Okay, clear, right? Am I good to go? Yes. Okay. Guys, others also please respond. I see from many times, many days, I'm seeing only few people, only those people are replying to me. What about the other people? They are not interested to get job or what? There are so many people and nobody is trying to give me any answers at all. And I am familiar with only 8 to 9 people who I'm communicating with. Rest of them I do not know. Okay, is this the what you say? That's how you want to portray yourself, as an unknown candidate who is going for a job. Yes. No, right? So please be interactive. So I'm trying to be interactive so much, so you're not giving your 10% of the effort. So that's pretty bad, right? So please talk. Okay. So nature of business of client. Okay. So as you already, you might, as everybody is working here, you might be working in some project, right, with some client, right? So you can mention the same client itself. It doesn't matter. Okay. So you can, if you're working on the same client, you can tell that we are providing services to that particular client. The reason I'm talking is because you already know that you're working on some project and who is your client. You know the structure of the client, right? How the scale is, how you're working, right? So please mention about that particular client itself so that it can be easier for you to explain. Okay, it becomes natural. Okay, so when you're explaining, because you're already working for a particular client, so you can mention that itself, right? What kind of services that you're giving for a particular client in terms of MSSP. Okay. Let me take some of the nature of business. Okay. So here, but what I'm going to write it now, right? Yeah, if you're working for in-house SOC, this won't be eligible for you, right? If you are working on an in-house SOC and if you're working a product-based company, then this kind of answers won't be concerning you. This is only for MSSP people who are pretty much giving service, right? So they can take these pointers. People who are in working in their own internal SOC and all, so they don't have to consider about this giving the about details about the client. Okay, that's why I said for in-house SOC it's pretty easy to mention. Okay, because they don't harbor any client, they everything is done by yourself, so it's pretty straightforward. But people for MSSP and all, they'll have to worry about these things, right? That's why I said majority of answers will be related to MSSP because most of people are in MSSP, like 80%, even in the corporate world, 80% of the SOC is from MSSP itself. Okay, well, 20% will be in-house SOC. In-house SOC is pretty less compared to any other process. Okay, now recently, from 2-3 years back, they have already everybody are going to in-house SOC. They are like, okay, we'll also try ourselves, like that. They are going. Okay, they don't want to give to some other parties and they do that process, right? Because the reason in our SOC we will be only focusing on your work in your infrastructure, right? But when it comes to MSSP, right, even though how many professionals are there, there'll be too many clients. Okay, you will have to, sometimes what happens is one single person will be checking the data of 2 clients. So here, even though the quality is good, the quantity is good, the quality won't be that good because he is working on two clients and there may be something, there could be an error at some case. Not every time, some case there could be error and they can't afford this, right? So that's why people are started moving to in-house SOC nowadays. Okay, so let's talk about the nature of business. So nature of business can be anything. Okay, it could be the client I'm talking. Okay, it could be an IT-based company, IT product-based company. Okay, because even my organization were earlier were getting serviced. Okay, we moved to in-house SOC from past 5.5 years. Okay, earlier it was even though it was our product-based company, we were giving SOC to someone else. Okay, from 5.5 years back, we started doing our own SOC. We were like, enough of this shit, we'll do it by ourselves. Okay, IT product based company, e-commerce, okay, bank, manufacturers, okay, automobile, okay, healthcare, telecom industry, etc. So this they might ask, the interview might ask you what kind of what sort of nature of business you have, right? For MSSP, for the client, what kind of client are you harboring? So you can tell that it's a what you say. It's a IT product based company, or if it's a bank, if it's automobile, right? This is only for MSSP people. Okay, if it's healthcare, so any Healthcare also they'll give. Okay, healthcare as in let's say any of the healthcare. Let's say some company, pharmacy company. Let's say some healthcare company, hospital, right? So all of those billing details, that these things will be harbored by their process. Because nowadays, if you, I don't know if you read the news or not, because lot of healthcare like hospitals, patients data is getting compromised. They're compromising patient data and they're asking for ransomware. Okay, so this is how they tackle the process. So majority of the hospitals are also providing getting in-house SOC. Okay, they're getting not in-house SOC, sorry, they're asking for services. So they're getting services by major of the companies who are giving promises. Okay. Yeah, Syed, you can't hear, is it? Okay. You understood about healthcare? Yes. Any doubt? Okay, these are the nature of business. So, okay, cool. These are the nature of business. So this is how you will determine your client. Okay, so you'll tell it's our e-commerce client. So basically, we provide services to this particular client. So you'll mention the client name. Okay, so this is how the nature of business would be. Okay, understood? Understood about the nature of business, right? These are the nature of business. Hopefully, you understood about healthcare. Okay, did you understand? Yes, no, maybe. Girichan. Others? Okay. So the coming question won't be 100%, but to build up your story, this will be pretty much helpful. Okay. So let me talk. If the question is asked, how many, sites do you hold, right? Or how many data centers you have? So that could be one of the question. How many sites or data center that you hold? Okay, this is not a 100% sure question, but for you to build up your story, you can include this as well. Okay, few people they will ask. Okay, let's say few HRs will ask because they'll be curious to know what exactly is going on. Okay, you will receive a lot of things from HRs at this point in time. Where is your company and is located, where it's stored, where it is there, how many offices do you have? They might ask like that. Okay, so we can give two different answers. So if you're MSSP and if you are popular, then it's fine, not a problem. But few of the organization they might ask. So you can tell different processes. Okay, you in 4 countries. Okay, 12 officers and 2 data center we have. You can mention in any of the process. Okay, or if you want to play safe, 1 country. Okay, 2 offices. You know, right, where it is, 1 data center. Okay, so depending on your organization, so if it's some startup and all, you can pretty much easily tell that it's in Bangalore itself. We have, if you have 2 offices, you can mention that we have 2 offices and 1 data center we harbor. Okay, which is in Bangalore itself. And if you guys are not sure about it, please research about it and understand where you guys will store. But this is how the few things are. Okay. TCS is a major company. Okay, you don't have to specify all these things because everybody knows about TCS, so they likely won't ask. Okay, they likely won't ask. But nobody cares where exactly the data centers are. Okay, but you can mention we have a data center in Bangalore itself. Okay, how many officers? Depends on how you can I'm also not sure how many offices TCS has, because it's huge. Okay, so many everywhere. It's like Accenture, these big companies, IBM. Even I don't know how much IBM offices they have in Bangalore itself. Okay, so they won't ask. These TCS, HP, not HP, Cognizant, they'll never ask. Okay, because they already know. Wipro and Accenture also huge, man. Like there are so many. You can tell that we harbor 2 data centers. Okay, 2 data centers like that. Okay, one is in. You can tell one is in Hyderabad, one is in Bangalore. Okay. In-house you can mention only one. Okay, but if it's if you're in-house and if your company is from US, you can tell that one is in US, which is in where California, and one is in Bangalore. So you can mention two in-house. If you're if the origin is US, okay, if the main hub is US, okay, you can tell that our headquarter is in US, California, where one data center is harbored, and one more is in India, which is in Bangalore. Okay, two you can mention. It depends how big your company is. So like that. If it's a startup, if it's a small scale industry, if it's a in or SOC, if it's a small scale industry, then you can pretty much tell we have only one data center, which is in Bangalore. Okay, depending on the scale of the company, you can tell how many data centers. Chuma don't tell that you're a small company, you're a startup company, and you have in-house SOC already. Don't tell we already have 2-3 data centers. No, it will be only one usually. Okay, got it, guys? So any one you can pretty much pick. If you want to play safe and do this, it's also fine. Accenture, IBM, TCS, they'll never ask, because it's already familiar that you are coming from that background, so they would never ask. They will ask for things which are not pretty much sure. Okay, they're not aware of that particular company, so they'll ask a little bit more about it. Where is the office? How many offices are there? Okay, so like that, they'll be curious. This is just a curiosity question that they'll be asking. So that's why I mentioned it's not 100% sure. Okay. So number of employees in the client. Okay. So in the client or in-house, whatever you may consider. Okay. How many employees in-house? Okay, not in-house. Product based. Product or client. Make sure you mention 2,000 to 5,000. 2K to 5K. Okay. The reason I am giving a big number is not chumma. Okay, it's not for a fact, because you can't tell that we only harbor 500 people or let's say 800 people in our company. Okay, make sure you put close to 2,000 at least, because it won't be considered if there is only less number of employee, means, right? If there is only less number of employee, that means you are not working or not exposed to an enterprise network. Okay, or a large network. You are not exposed to that, because people now, if you are hiring, it's a good thing if you're mentioning that you have worked on enterprise network. The reason being, people, if they are if the future company that they are hiring you, no matter if they're small scale industry or big scale enterprise network industry, it will be comforting for them that you already worked with a large scale network, so you don't you already have that exposure, that knowledge that you can bring up to our organization, right? But if you tell only we worked on 800 people, it's not enterprise network and all, that means they'll think, let's say if some company is hiring, let's say if PwC or IBM or some other company organization is hiring you, if you tell you already worked on 800 to 500 to 800 small scale, they'll think, will you be able to handle this particular load? Because the organization, we work on enterprise organization, too much things will be there, you are not yet exposed to this, so you might fall back from different people, right, who are already there here. So you might require more training. So those things will come up with their head. So that to avoid those confusions and conclusions, you make sure you mention 2000 to 2000 at least. Okay, 2000. Make sure that number is there as the base that you are giving in your organization has. Okay, if it's an in-house SOC, please mention 2000 that we have around 2000 people's employees and we are working as an enterprise scale. Okay, this Accenture and all, no worries, they have already have a huge number, so they don't have to worry. Okay, guys, understood? Any doubts? Okay, got it right? Any doubt, guys? If you have any doubt, you can ask me. Yes, no, maybe. Understood? So let's fix to some common pointers. Okay, let's fix to some common pointers. Okay, not this. I'm sorry. Let's fix to some common pointers who are pretty much new to this organization who are working will be close to 2000. Okay, we have 2000 clients. Okay, let's make it an enterprise network that you have exposure to enterprise network. Okay, guys, understood? Yes, no, any questions? So can you guys tell me how many log sources your company have or your client have? How many log sources? This is one of the important questions out there. I'm giving you questions in terms of the real time question, real fact questions. I was asked this question in the last interview. Yes. What was your answer? How many log sources do you have? Your company has or your client has? For MSSP, how many employees? You can safely mention like close to 2000 to 5000. Anywhere between that then that process will be sufficient. Okay, 2500, 3000. So just to make sure that you are in that environment, Ratan, okay, that you are worked on, you have exposure to enterprise network. Okay, because enterprise network will matter not only if you're going to a startup in the future where they have their own in-house SOC. It doesn't matter because they'll be more than happy to hire you because you already have an exposure to enterprise network. So it will be a piece of cake for you to work on startup companies because log resources will be pretty less and you'll be able to work much more efficiently, right? So that's the reason I gave you that number. Okay, you can choose anywhere between that. Okay, if you want to play safe, tell 2000. If you know go a little higher, please do. Okay, but depending on your organization, you can go. Okay, I see a number of answers here. Guys, others, where are you guys? Are you guys there or did you guys go home? Others? More than 20, around 30 log sources. What was your answer, Mohammed? What answer did you give in the interview? Okay, Anwar has no idea about it. It's fine. Good that you said. Okay, 25. Ratan, if we have AV, we need DLP. If we Ratan, I didn't get your question. If we AV, why need DLP? I didn't pretty much understand that question. No idea. A few people doesn't have any idea. I was not bad answers. I messed it up. I said 500. 500. Okay. Okay. Many people have no idea. Others, where are you guys? Ratan, repeat your question. I didn't understand what, I don't know what sentence was that found to. Okay, no idea. So many people have. Okay, so let me give an example. Okay, I'll answer you. Okay. If we have antivirus, then why we need DLP? Asked by the interview. See, antivirus is a different section itself, and DLP is a different section. They both are not even interrelated in any ways. Okay, antivirus. What is the job of antivirus? Antivirus is there to protect your system. Okay, from virus through multiple scans, right? So through multiple signature, it will determine if any malicious indicators are entering to your organization or not. Okay, antivirus plays in that role. DLP is required to prevent you from data loss. Suppose some attack has happened. Okay, some signature came through within your network which was not updated by your antivirus because it's a new signature, it's a new malware. Okay, the signature, the malware has been modified and the signature is new, which cannot be determined by the antivirus, and it has infected the organization. Okay, and you have lost certain amount of data because of that virus. Okay, or particular malware, right? So in order to recover that particular process, your DLP will come into picture. Okay, so both are totally entirely different. I'm not sure why would he ask about that particular question, but this is your answer. Okay, Pratham, got it? Both are little different. Okay, so that's why I had asked you to do detailed analysis of DLP so that you will get to know what exactly is DLP, because right now a lot of questions have been asking from DLP interview questions. So you need to crack that, right? So that's why I've given you DLP as an assignment. Okay, if you're not done it, please do it. Okay, we have Cisco Nexus MySQL. Okay, got it. Okay, so there are close to there won't be two numbers, 3 digits. No. Okay, they'll be close to 1,000 log sources. Okay, you tell some people said 20, 30, 25, 30, 500. No. Okay, you will have close to 1,000 log sources. Okay, let me give you an example. Last time I had done a PPT on that, but I think I deleted it, unfortunately. So, but I do have the screenshot which I kept it. I had shared it with my team, with people. Okay. So as I said earlier, we have around 1,000 log sources, 1,000 plus log sources. Okay. So if you can see my screen. Yeah, exactly. Right. So in our Windows and some Linux machines itself, we'll be getting way more than that. So you can't tell that just 500 is enough. 20 to no way. Okay. People will laugh. Never tell 20, 30 and all, because your interview will be shocked. Like, what are you saying? Right. So see, as you can see here, I am pretty clear with the particular process. Typing will take a lot of time. So I had already done this previously. So you can pretty much tell. So we have around 1,100 log sources. You can make it as common, but if you're working in Accenture, please make it double it everywhere. Okay, double it everywhere. Okay, if you're working in Accenture, IBM, it will be pretty more than that. But as an average, you can take 1,100. Okay. Yeah, you were referring to integrated devices. Yes. So, but you are not mentioning about log sources, but these devices will also fetch processes. Okay, but log sources where you are getting from, Okay, Windows Server, right? Windows Server, Microsoft Windows Server will alone fetch 780. Okay, log source. So you can see web developer, web server, database, AD, right? DNS services. So please make sure you have this memorized in your head, okay, and pretty much understand how many log resources you have. Okay, load balancer, how much you use, WLC and router switches, DHCP, DNS are pretty important. So we have to mention all these things. Okay. The interview will not ask complete in detail, but he wants to know at least how many you are using. Okay. So please, yeah, you can mention above 2000 easily, because TCS harbors a lot of log sources. So you can easily mention 2200 as it's a good thing. Okay. But it should definitely cross 1100. Okay, guys. 1100 is the lowest. I'm talking about the base. Okay, base for startup, for in-house SOC. In-house SOC obviously you get even more, but for a startup company, minimum this much will be there. Okay, so the minimum is this much. You have to make sure that if you want to play safe, then it's fine. If it's a new organization, if it's a small team, small company, then please mention this. Okay, that you have close to 2000 employees or 1000 plus employees. Okay, 1800 employees, something like that, and you can mention this particular log source. Okay, don't mention 20, 30, 500. No. Okay, please mention about this. If you are confident, you can pretty much go above this and make sure you make some modification. You don't have to mention everything here, but just at least know about this. When you're doubling it, double this also. That's it, simple. Okay, so this will give you a rough idea of how things work out. Okay, because this is a 100 definite question. A lot of people will ask. Okay, usually your managers will ask all these kinds of questions because they'll be knowing all these things. So they will be curious to know that if you're pretty much working. These log sources are entire. It's not for per devices. Okay, entire in your infrastructure. How many log sources you are harboring? Database. How many database you have? 10 database, right? How many switches you have in an entire organization in your infrastructure? 220. Okay, like that. No, these are servers, man. These are not endpoints. These are not devices. These are servers. Just difference between servers and endpoints, right? So don't tell we have 780 devices. No, these are servers. Servers are there, not devices. Okay. Mohammed, that is not how it goes. Okay. 500 Windows clients and 500 endpoints. Antivirus installed, then we get logs from Windows events as well as from antivirus alerts. Yes, you get both. Okay. The log sources differs. Okay, differs from where the details are being fetching. Okay, you see the log sources, right? You don't have to calculate in that way. You just have to mention the things which I mentioned here. Okay, because if you tell all these things, it will increase the complexity of your answer, and this will lead to somewhere else. Okay, so don't mention that. You can tell that 500 Windows client will be there and endpoint is fire. So antivirus is installed in all the devices and same amount of logs you are getting. No, it's not possible because Windows activity will be more compared to the antivirus activity. Okay, antivirus will definitely becomes noisier, but sometimes your Windows event logs, you know how much it will generate, right? Do you have any idea how much it will generate? It will be more than which you can imagine also. It will be way more. Okay, so don't compare that with this. That will mess up your answer itself. Better you stick up to the things which I gave you. It will be a lot more easier. Okay. Now, as per services, you don't have to mention as per services. You can mention as per servers. Okay. Got it? To say project people count or companies. I have worked on enterprise network and I have around 60 plus active clients daily. 60 plus active clients daily. Give me 1 second, 1 second. Can you please clarify on if MSSP based SOC support we need to say project? No. You don't have to mention project count. I know. See which client you are harboring. Obviously, every IBM or Accenture or any MSSP will be harboring more than 60 plus, right? How much you are working on? 2, 3, 2 clients you are working, or only one client you are working, right? It depends. Okay. If you're comfortable, you can mention only one client. It's fine, because IBM, you know, right? How many people are there in IBM? I know it's such a huge team, right? But you can mention that, we have around 60 plus client. Okay. And we are pretty much working on per person will be working on minimum 2 to 3 clients. That is pretty much enough. Okay. Because like that 60 plus client and all will be these startup companies will be giving IBM the requirements. Okay. Not all major company will be working. If it's a huge client, only one client per person will be giving. Okay. If you're comfortable with that, you can go for that answer. If you say I'm working on 2-3 companies, startup companies, I'm giving services to them. So I have 2 clients. Okay, you can mention 2 clients. It's not a problem. Okay, because in DXC as well, even my friend is working over there, and they are working in terms of use scale. They have a 80 plus client, and one person will be working on four clients, depending on the project. Okay, the client's project and client's infrastructure. They'll be, because a lot of them are startup. So like startup, hardly some alerts will come, right? I mean, startup, lot of alerts will come, but majority of them are false positive because it won't be fine tuned. Okay, so my friend, he is working on 4 different clients. Okay, as a security analyst, he's giving services to 4 clients. Yes, it becomes hectic, but that's what they do, right? They'll make proper use of you. So he is currently working on 4 different clients. So you can easily mention, okay, it's not a problem. Don't tell that you are giving services to all 60. Is that what you're doing? It's not possible, I guess. That's not possible. Okay. There will be different teams, dedicated teams. This team, let's say this 25 team will be working on 6 clients. Okay. So they'll be splitting up. And this 25 people will be working on that particular client. Okay, there'll be another list of clients, 3, 4. Okay, got it right? Nivedita, what I'm talking about. You can mention 2 to 3 clients to be on your safer side. Okay. Don't mention that I'm giving services to all 60 clients. No. Okay. That is not how things work. Your company will be providing services. It doesn't mean you also will be providing services to all 60 clients. No, you will be working on only few. There'll be multiple teams. Okay. In Accenture alone, there are 8 to 9 teams. In one team, there'll be close to 8 to 10 members. Okay, 8 to 10 members will be working in one team. So almost 100 plus people, users, employees are working on different teams. Okay, so you don't have to tell all 60 and all. 2-3 clients that you're handling is pretty much fine. And client, they have more than 15,000 clients. Then how I mentioned the wood log source? You can give a large number, man. You can give. It's not a problem. Okay, so around you can tell around close to 6,000 log source we harbor. Please, you can give the size. Okay, we have around 15,000 clients. Okay, and we have so much of log sources. You can make sure you increase the volume. Okay, it doesn't matter. When you increase the volume, this also increases. So if you count from this log server to switch router, it will be around 1,100. So you increase this, the log source also increase. You have to calculate all these things. Okay, just don't tell out of the blue. You don't have to mention all these things, but how much log resources, the log sources you're harboring, you just have to mention 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000. Depending on the scale, the log sources also will increase. Okay, so that's why I mentioned give a big, good number of amount like 1,800, 2,000 people. So your scale of the log source will go higher. Okay, understood, guys? Got it? What you have to mention, what not you have to mention. Okay. Awesome. Nivedita, you won't be working on 60 plus clients. Okay. There is no way you will be working on 60 different clients. Okay. Got it? Make sure you mention 1 or 2. That's it. 2. You can mention, to be safer side, you can mention only 1, that you have a big client and you are giving services to only that particular client. That's it. My team is giving service to only client, other client. There are other teams who are giving services to two to three clients. You can mention like that. Okay. All right. So that was related to log sources, right? Log sources. So how many logs you get per day? That will be also your question. Anybody answer? Can someone tell me? How many logs you get in a day? Okay. Okay. Cool. Okay. The next question will be how many logs you get per day? Any idea? Could be. I just want you to see. I am not here to judge you, but please tell me your answer. It's okay. No, no, no. 2500 are log sources. Okay. I'm just talking about the single log. How many logs you will receive per day? In a day, how many logs? If you have so much log sources itself, how many logs you will be getting per day? See, these are very damn important questions. People will ask a lot about this. Okay, that's why I wanted to stick up to this so that you'll get the idea how SOC works, how SOC will revolve. Yeah, based on, but let's give a rough calculation. Okay, rough calculation. How much logs you'll receive per day? I need numbers, guys. You guys are playing safe from right from the get-go. Millions, lakhs? I want answers. It's okay, it doesn't matter. Okay, I'll give you the answer right now itself. I just want to know like what you guys think, just to get an idea. Okay, somebody says 25 million. Somebody says no, definitely not 2,500. Okay, Rahul, that is your log source from where the source you are coming. But those logs will provide again logs, right? So if there are so many logs, Windows Server itself contains 780 logs per server. How much log it contains and per machine how much it contains. So like that you all have to think, right? So you'll have to understand. It will be pretty huge, right? 2 million, 10 million, not countable. No, it's definitely countable. Okay, it's definitely countable. I'll tell you the reason also why it's countable. Okay, you will have to keep a track of it. Okay, it is countable. Exact number. Okay, you don't have to know the exact number also. We'll just give a brief. Okay. All right. 30,000, 50,000. No, no, no. So it will be way more than that. 30,000, 50,000, what you're mentioning is just a 1%. Okay, I will tell you. We have close to 150 million logs per day. Okay, exactly. Who is this guy? Hemant. Based on EPS. Anybody knows EPS like Hemant mentioned? So you will have in a day, you will see minimum, okay, to be a safer side. As I said, we'll all answer accordingly, right? If you are in a startup and if you feel safe, you can mention this log source. Okay, log source will be getting 1,100. Okay, you can mention 1,500 as the base. Okay, depends on you how much you want to type, but as the base, we'll keep it 150 million log source. Okay, so if you calculate this to event per second, okay, how will you calculate event per second? How will you calculate event per second? The logs that are coming per second, how many logs will be getting per second? So events, Okay, in a day, this much you will be getting 150 million logs, but in a second, how much will you calculate? So let's take this as x. Okay, let's take this as z itself. Okay, because I want to show a little bit of more equals z. Okay, so we'll calculate z divided by 24, 60, 60. Okay, so this is basically hours, minutes, and seconds. Okay. Into. Sorry, I did it a slash now. Into. Okay. If you do this, divide this by 24, 60 into 60. Okay. Divided by z, you will get somewhere close to 1700 EPS. That is event per second. So this much event per second logs will be getting in a second. Got it, guys? No, you don't have to calculate in log activity tab. But your general answer, okay, your general answer should be this. It doesn't matter if you go 250 million also. Depending on the scale, you can go 250 million in a day or 300 million, okay, or 500 million also. 500 million also you can tell, okay, depending on the scale of your company. Okay, you'll receive 500 million also. On that basis, you'll have to calculate also. Okay, guys, understood? You got it right. Don't tell 25 million, 30 million, 20,000, 30,000. No, you'll have to tell 150 million. Okay. And if you can convert that into EPS also, it's pretty much good. You'll be giving accuracy. Okay. You'll giving an accurate count. So it'll show that you are well versed with the process. You know what things are there. You know, you are aware of certain different things. Right. So please calculate all these things when you are giving an interview, understand how many log sources you will be harboring. So all these things you need to understand. Okay. Where this EPS counts, do you guys know where this EPS will count? Any idea where this EPS will come? Any idea, guys? If you're not sure of my answer, you can calculate this, guys. Okay, you will definitely get 1700. Okay. Okay, Mohammed says no. To check the size of the SIM, you are close. Not size of the SIM, but you are close. Not, it doesn't come to the SIM, but it's related to SIM. Where you will come across EPS, where EPS come across us. During billing, no, not during. Yeah, Nivedita, you are close. You are also very close. Okay. Deepak says EPS will be changed based on company size. Yeah, it depends. See, if you're harboring more people, this is just a base number I gave you guys. This is not like I'm giving the exact, this is the base number. Okay. So if you have too many people, right, you will have too much log resources, right? You will have too many logs, right? So it increases as a scale, it increases. Okay. As a scale, it increases. It depends on the size of the company also. Okay. Indexing, no. Billing, yes, during billing issue. Rahul says licensing. Girichan says license. Yes, exactly. It comes in licensing. Okay. Tools like QRadar or ArcSight will work on EPS. Okay, event per second. Okay. So they'll tell that the company knows that they'll be getting so many events per second, right? So based on that, they'll take a license. They'll let's say if they are getting 1,700 event per second, they'll round it up to 2,000 to 2,500 event per second. Okay. event per second, just to make sure, because sometimes what happens is, right, there may be a extra loss that might be coming. So we can't say that only this much will be coming, right? So they'll round it off to this much and they'll purchase a license for this much. Okay, event per second. So we need this much. So there'll be an amount praised for that. Okay, so based on event per second, they'll take a license. Okay, they'll take a license for that amount of time. Okay, but when it comes to Splunk, right, it will be event per day. It will be day activity, event per day, not seconds, event per day. Okay, so Splunk is a little different, events per day. Sorry, not day, events per GBs, event per GB. Okay, how many GB per day they will harbor? It will be in terms of that. Got it, guys? Any doubts? EPS data for licensing. Yeah, exactly. Even during auditing time also they'll ask, because these things will be checked thoroughly, because these things shouldn't be misplaced. They'll tell we only, because you are paying for that much, right? You are paying for this much. You are paying for this much. Let's say you'll Chuma tell that we only need 700 1700 EPS, and you pay for this much, some dollars, it will be in dollars amount, it will pay this much, but in actual you will be getting more than 2500 event per second. Okay, more than 2500 event per second. So this is a fraud, right? You'll be doing a fraud, but this tool will also get to know that you are using way more. Once fine, twice fine, third time what they'll do, they'll cancel your license itself. Third time they'll cancel your license, so you can never purchase that, right? The data which they harbor is also gone, because when you are when you're signing up for something, you will write the privacy. You learn about the privacy policies also. You will learn about the policies also. If you're cheating, if you come across any fraud, the data which they harbor will be lost. So that's how you mention. So you have to make sure that everything falls into place. Okay. There'll be penalties, there'll be major other things. If you continue this process, they'll cancel the license itself altogether. Okay, so these are the things that you'll have to focus on. Okay, guys, any doubt, guys? Good job. Few people came close and few people said the exact answer. So licensing is the factor of this. Understood, guys? Understood? So you know how much log source we need, how many logs we get per day. So you can pretty much increase according to your comforts. Okay, it's pretty easy. You don't have to stress so much on that. Just calculate z equals so and so, so and so, so and so, and you'll get the log event per second. Okay. Now let's come across how Splunk does it. Okay. Let's take the same number for Splunk, because a lot of people will be curious for events. Sorry, it will be in GBs. Okay, events per day. In a day, it will be calculating. So what we do is same thing. We are getting 150 million. Okay, we're getting 150 million. We'll keep this one equals to Z, right? So what we do is so let's assume one log contains 400 bytes, right? So one log, one log will be 400 bytes. Okay, so that's how we determine, right? One log contains 400 bytes. Okay, so for Z, how much? Can someone calculate? Not someone, let's everybody calculate. Take up your laptop. Sorry. Take your calculator and do this. So you are getting 150 million logs. Okay, per day, right? Per day you're getting 150 million logs, and 1 log is equal to 400. Okay, this is from Splunk side. From Splunk side we are calculating because we are checking events per day. Okay, that is events per second we are calculating. Here events per day we'll check how the license agreement happens. Their QRadar ArcSight and all, it will happen through event per seconds. Okay, the licensing will happen event per second, but when it comes to Splunk, it will be event per day. So let's calculate that. Okay, guys, any idea? Can I get to know the result? Okay, 60 billion. Others, what do you guys say? What do you guys say? You have cal? Okay. Hemant, I have already calculated into GBs, is it? Billion, right? 60. What 60? Yes, 60 billion. 55 G. Ratan not getting 55 GB you're talking. Okay. So 60 billion, right? Now convert that 60 billion to GBps. Convert that billion, 60 billion to GB. How much you'll get? $55 GB. Calculate it. No, you use your Google. Convert it. Type in Google. Convert it into this thing. Convert it into GB. Okay. Let me take up my calculator as well. Okay. Why is it got opened? Did it right? Okay, yeah. Okay. Mohammed got the answer. Everybody got the answer. Is it? Yeah, copy. $60 GB, right? 60 GB is the answer, right? 60 GB you are getting, right? But when it comes to Splunk, we won't take exactly 60 GB, right? Because you know what happens, sometimes the log source count will be a little more. Okay, so we are not taking exact 60 GB as the license, because what happens if sometimes if the log source are little higher, some day it depends on day-to-day activity, right? So what if it goes a little higher? So to make sure, we pretty much increase the quantity 75 as a we know the average will be getting this much, but just to be on the safer side, we'll take 75 to 80 as a license. Okay, so when you're purchasing for the license, they'll take another 20 or 30, 20, 25 GB extra. So let's say they'll take 80 GB extra just to be safer side, just to have they have their own comfort zone. So they'll take a license agreement for 80 GB. So this is per day. Okay, so per day they'll be receiving close to 60. So round figure, we'll keep it as 80. So per 80 GB per day, they'll actually take for the license agreement. And this will be there for 2 years, 3 years, 1 year maybe. So the license will be there for 1 year, maybe 2 year, maybe 3 year. So depending. But usually what they do is they keep it for 1 year because sometimes what happens is new new servers and new productions environment will get set up. Okay, new servers will be added. So in 1 year itself, there will be close to 5 to 6 servers easily they'll add. Major servers they'll add easily to increase the capacity. Okay, so at that time this will get impacted if we do it in the long term, right? So if we keep it for 3 years and all, because 3 years, a lot of changes will be happening, right? So this will be an issue, right? So in order to avoid that, they'll keep it for a certain less amount of time, 1 year or so. So per day they'll be getting this thing, so they'll put it for 1 year, and after that again they'll renew the license, saying that we need a little bit more. So that's how things go higher. Got it, guys? Understood? Now you know how much logs you'll be getting per day. Log sources are different, logs are different. Okay. You understood, right? Now you have a clear idea what exactly is going on, right? How things are calculated, how things are done. Right, guys? Did you understand how we calculate things as per SIM tool and how we do things, right? How license are generated, license agreements are made based on your logs, right? Okay. Yes. So clear. Good. That's good. Okay. Is this session being beneficial for you guys? Is this session good enough? Did you learn? Is this good? Yes, right? I want answers from everyone. Okay, that's good to hear. Okay, awesome. Okay, so now let's say how many alerts do you face in a day? Okay, how many alerts do you see in a day? So this will be also a common question, interview question. So whatever I mentioned, right? In today's, it's all there for the interview. Okay, everything, every single thing will count for the interview, and these are 100% definite questions that you will be facing. Okay, that's the reason I took this one. The reason you will be seeing a lot of questions in terms of this. Okay, your interview may ask how to see how efficient you are, right? So they'll ask how many alerts or how many alerts you see in a day, right? How many alerts do you manage in a day? You can tell 100 to 150. Yes, that's a good number, but yeah, so that's good. It's good. Okay. True positive is a different story, but generally alerts how much we see in a day, you can mention 100 to 150. Okay, so there'll be three shift. Okay, there'll be 3 shift, or there'll be only 2 shift, because my organization has only 2 shift. Okay, and there'll be 3 people in that. Okay, so if you calculate in that way, let's keep 140. Okay, we have only 2 shift. Okay, 2 shifts. Okay, and there'll be in 1 shift, there'll be how much people? 3 people. 3 people will be there. Okay, in 1 shift, 3 people will be there. Okay, so total of 6 people. Okay, so 140. Okay, 140 divided by 6. How much it is? Like that, you'll also have to calculate. Okay, but just to be on the safer side, you can tell that you work on close to 20 alerts. Okay, 20 alerts per day you can pretty much work. Okay, 20 is a good number, decent number that you can pretty much say. Right? So this is total 6 people we are there who will be handling. Yes, 23. Okay, so you can pretty much tell in that way. Okay,
But if you're in three shifts are there, that means the number of people increases, right? So how many people you have as checking on L1? So that matters. So totally, let's say you have around uh, what to say? Let's say there are 8 people in your team. Okay, so 8 people divided by 140, how much is there? You can pretty much check on that. Okay, so depending on the people, everybody will be working simultaneously, right? So 150, 160, so like that in a day you will see around that, and divided it by these things has to match, guys. Don't randomly throw numbers. Okay, if in case your bad luck is running and that particular person who is actually taking your interview will actually calculate that particular process, then you're dead, right? So need to log in. Okay, no problem. I'll take that. Give me a minute. There are certainly different things, but it would be nice if you listen to few things, come across few things. Okay, because I have still, I think I'll exactly cover it by 9. Okay, if that is not a problem, please stick on to the process. It will be helpful. Can someone share me the Magic Portal link, guys? I have lost it. Okay. Where did this go? Okay, I got it. Sorry for the trouble. I got it. Another 10 minutes to go. If you can stick around, please, Mohammed and whoever wants to go out, please stick on to 10 minutes. We'll sort it out. Okay. Okay. So, so that is there. Okay, a shift per person, how will you get? Okay, but what happens is sometimes when there is a startup company, right? Startup company, the alerts may also depends on how the fine-tuned the alerts are. Fine-tuned. Depending on the fine-tune of alerts, the alert will be pretty less. Let's say for a startup company, it has recently started up SOC, and what happens here is you will see a lot of false positives. Okay, a lot of false positives. So that number will go higher. So let's say our average is alert is here, but for a startup, you will see close to 350 to 400 logs per day. Because it's a startup, right? They have newly built and the alerts are not that fine-tuned. So you will see come across a lot of false positive. Because earlier, very long back, I was working on a particular startup which recently started SOC, and I used to work close to 80 alerts per day. Okay, 80 alerts per day alone, me alone. Okay, and majority of them, only 10 to 12 were an actual alert, rest all were false positives. Okay, so depending on the fine tune of the alert also, this will come across into picture. Okay, but for you, you can easily mention that I work on 20 to 23 alerts per day. Okay, that is alerts per day. Okay, now the interviewer might also ask how many incidents that you work, okay, in a day, or tickets. These are incidents, right? You raise the ticket only when there is an incident, right? So how many incidents that you work in a day? How much you can tell? You can pretty much give a safe as answer from 0 to 8. You can pick anywhere between this. Okay, don't have to increase more, don't have to increase less. So anywhere between this can be very comfortable. 8 is also fine. Okay, 8 is also fine. If you're working in a huge scale industry, 8 is also fine. 8 to 10 is also fine. Good. Okay, but if you're working in a startup also, you can tell somewhere between 3. Okay, but don't tell directly out of the blue when the interviewer asks, when he says that how many incidents have you worked in a day. So you don't sell 3. No, don't tell out of the blue 8. No, don't tell that. So you can twist it. Okay, you can make sure that this is believable. Okay, so what can you do is, typically we raise close to 3 to 5 incidents, but there are times wherein we don't even raise a single ticket. Okay, single incident. Okay, we don't even come across a single incident. So this is pretty much believable, right? So you can mention in this way. Normally we see 3 to 5. Okay, 3 to 5 or 5 to 7. But there are times wherein we don't even raise a single ticket, because sometimes what happens is you won't get any major incidents also. It will be normal. General alert will be coming, general things will be going on. Okay, not major, the major deals will not come every day, right? Even me myself, if I tell, I won't see in major incident which I have to raise an incident every day also. Okay, sometimes you won't see anything. No, I won't raise a ticket also. So sometimes it will be normal, general alerts will be popping up. There won't be any major issues. Okay, so that I have to raise a ticket every day. No. Okay, sometimes it happens, sometimes it don't. Okay, there are days where sometimes you won't have to raise a single ticket also. So make sure you answer is believable. Okay, don't tell 3, 5 every day we'll see 3. No, don't tell that. Make it believable. Okay, got it? What are the, and next thing is, we covered incidents also, we covered alerts also. Now next thing is technology. What kind of technology your client is using or your in-house SOC is using. So those kinds of things will be asked. Okay, or your particular company itself who is providing service, what kind of technology uses. So you need to be aware of firewall. Make sure which firewall you pick, Palo Alto, Cisco, anything. IPS, which is that, web gateway. Okay, so please make a reason out of it. Okay, email gateway. Please learn about all these things. Antivirus, which is used, XDR or EDR. Anyone which use, usually typically you guys use only EDRs. So make sure which EDR you are mentioning. Okay, if you are using DLP also, which DLP is that. Okay, WAF, what exactly is this? Threat intelligence tool which you use, SIM which you use, right, etc. so forth. So you need to understand what kind of technology that you guys use in your in-house SOC or your other process. So when you're explaining to the interviewer, you have to make sure that you use all these terms, that you guys use this, you guys use that, I work on this, I work on that. So make sure you involve all these things as well. Okay, specify the name also. Don't tell that I just worked on firewall. He doesn't know what kind of firewall you use, right? So since the next company hiring will also use Palo Alto, so if you don't specify that you are also using Palo Alto, then it's no deal, right? So the interviewer will be thinking, okay, he also uses Palo Alto, so it will be a good match for us because he has already worked on it. It should be easy. We don't have to train him much, right? So for everything, please mention that we use this, we use that, we use this antivirus, we use McAfee or Sophos or any other. Okay, EDR, anything, any EDR solutions. Okay, whichever you are comfortable with or whichever you are using already. Okay, if you are using. Okay, so please mention all these things. Okay, got it? And which you guys are working on, that you are working on in day-to-day events, right? So these kinds of technology that you are using on. Okay, please mention all those things. Okay, so that was one of your question. Okay, these are all interview questions, guys. So this is what I want to confirm from to you, that these are the technologies that you're using, your incidents, how many alerts you raise in a day, and what is your team size. Yeah, that is also a pretty major question. What's your team size? Okay, so you can tell that 10 members is our team size. Okay, play good, play safe for you. Okay, because even in major MSSPs also, right? So in MSSP as well, including SOC, in a SOC you can mention 10 members. Even MSSP you can tell 10 members, because what happens is in MSSP. So let's say there is client 1, client 2, client 3. Okay, client 3, client 1, client 2, client 3. So for every client there will be one team allotted. Team 1 will be allotted to here, team 2 will be allotted here, to team 3 will be allotted to client 3. So in every team there will be 10 members. You can mention like this also. Okay, you are a part of this client. Okay, or let's say you are using you have a client 1, 2 and 3, 1, 2, two clients you're handling. So then also you can mention that team size is 10 and we are also giving services to 2 different clients. Okay. Okay, got it. Okay, got it. Okay, understood. Okay, so you can mention team number like this. So L1 you have 6. Okay, L2 you have 2. You have L3 as a lead, which is 1, and 1 SOC manager. SOC manager. SOC 1 SOC manager. Okay, so how much it conclude? 10, right? 10 members, easy. You can pretty much mention all these things. Okay, shift timings, 3-way shift, 6 to 3 p.m., 2 to 11 p.m., 10 to 7 a.m. Okay, these are rotational shifts, so you can mention all these things. Okay, so this is not shift timings is not necessary, but if in case if he asks, then it's fine. Major thing, one more major thing which I wanted to mention is SLA. SLA is P1 30 minutes, P2 and P3 2 hours. Good, easy. Okay, don't have to stress much. Okay, and what kind of ticketing tool you use, ServiceNow, client-side tools. So anything will be sufficient. Okay, so as you know, we spoke about ticketing tool, right? Ticketing tool, Snow. Anything which you want to call on, you can mention Snow. Okay. He might also ask if you are working on a MSSP, what kind of services that you offer. Okay, what kind of services does your MSSP service providers offers? Okay, so you can mention few of the services that you guys offer also, like threat hunting is one of the service. Okay, vulnerability assessment is one of your service. Okay, threat intel sharing, threat intel sharing is one of your services. Okay, these are not mandate questions, but sometimes they might ask, curious, right? Pen testing, right? So these are not mandate, but they will definitely ask. Okay, they might ask depending on the person, they might pretty much ask. Okay, and meetings, how often you will do meetings? So weekly once is also fine. We have day-to-day meetings. Okay, usually SOC team, in-house SOC will have more meetings comparatively to MSSPs. In-house SOC for day-to-day events, day-to-day services, what kind of services were running, what kind of services were up and down. So in-house SOC they'll tend to have more meetings, but you can, for safe keeping, you can mention weekly ones. Okay, guys. Any doubts up till now? Any doubts up till now? In any terms? In any terms? Anything you want to share? Anything you want to talk about? If you have any doubt, please talk. Please let me know. Yeah. I'll share a few things with you, okay? Which should be helpful for you. Okay. Please take this. Okay. Just to give you a rough idea what exactly is going on. Log source have already attacked. Okay. Common types of alert.
Just for your reference, whatever we thought today, we'll pretty much learn about this. Business. This all I have screenshot, okay guys, because I had taken that to make a presentation. I had done that and I lost that presentation itself. But luckily I have the screenshots which I took and I had explained previously. Next I started doing by giving presentations, but that presentation itself, I don't know, ran off somewhere. I can't be able to find that in my device. Okay, so pretty much whatever we discussed here, I have already, for your reference, I kept it. Okay, just to make sure that you, if you have any doubts, you can pretty much work it out on that. Okay. Okay, got it right, guys? Okay, a few people had some questions. If you mention a tool, then we must know it, right? Yes, you have to know. Okay, if you're mentioning a tool, you have to know what exactly tool you are using. Okay, so for that, you can tell either Splunk or either any other process, you can pretty much talk about it. Okay, you can pretty much talk about that particular tool. Okay, what kind of tools that you are using. If it's Splunk, since you already know Splunk, you can easily tell Splunk, EDR, any other process, you can pretty much easily say. Okay, you don't have to dig deep in that, but just scratch the outer surface. Okay. In QRadar, we have IBM X-Force. Yes, IBM X-Force as your threat intelligence tool. If we enable it, how can we use to feed from? If we enable. See, obviously you'll be having threat intelligence like from your company side itself, but at the same time, you will be using different threat intelligence tools like open source tools. Like we in our organizations also we use multiple open threat intelligence tools, that is VirusTotal, Sucuri, hybrid analysis, and it'll also use IP wide, right? And you'll also use URL scan IO. So these are the few of the open source threat intelligence tools that you can use separately apart from what you already have, just to get a in-depth knowledge and idea about it. I'll share that in the Friday. Okay, I'll share that. We'll take interview session class. Okay, ransomware guys, we'll do it tomorrow because today we got caught up with this and a lot of things had to be covered. We'll do it ransomware. Don't worry about that. Okay, we'll work on. We'll do that. Okay, understood, guys. Any other questions you have? Anything you want to share?